TTT in 3, 2, 1. Buenos nachos, amigos, and welcome to Through the Tomes, Dungeons and Dragons adventure with a group, where a group of patient and understanding and intrepid adventurers endeavor on a Dungeons and Dragons journey, being guided by a rank amateur DM, using adventure modules and pre-built adventure settings and tools that are available, various tools that are available online to kind of just put it all together. I'm PD Rave, said rank amateur DM. Here with me is my party, my squad, my gang, my crew, my intrepid heroes. First, we got playing Wind and Summer, Daisy.
So I unboxed those Formula One cards, and I got one, The Comeback Kid, which is the name of a Drive to Survive episode. Pierre Gasly,
Nice.
One of my favorites. But the love of my F1 life, Sebastian Vettel.
Yes.
Maybe
the
I'll
mayor
put this,
of F1.
Dreamy.
put this on top of my Christmas tree this year as the angel and the star on the tree, because
Nice.
I can't decide which to use. But also, I learned today you can store your collectible cards with a 49% Bovida pack to protect it from drying out and becoming brittle, or from getting moldy or curling.
Hashtag
Nice.
not an ad.
Yeah.
Back to you, Petey.
Yes. Playing playing Toby Underborough, we've got Brett.
So today is brought to you by one of Daisy's homemade vodka sunrises, Grey Goose, and the world's most garbage grenadine that money can buy. But it's been sitting here. Also, I found out just recently the Ilford HP5 is a fine Harman product.
Yes.
Like your clip.
The folks
speakers.
what made my Subaru speakers.
Yes.
Harman and/or Carden.
Yes.
Playing Lucius Cilero, we've got Matt.
I have a TI Inspire CX CAS graphing calculator for sale. This is the one with the color screen.
But wait,
and the one...
what's the good and important answer that everybody's asking? Does
it can play Doom. It
Yeah.
can
There we
play
go.
Doom in full color. Probably
go.
more
Synced up.
colors than it originally was built for, than Doom
Yes.
was made for.
Exactly.
The battery does not work, but hit me up if you want to buy it. It works if you plug it in.
Doom.
Let's make a deal at Imritic W.
Yes.
Hashtag
I'm sure
Adam.
you
not
could
an
get in
ad.
there and fix the battery.
Yeah.
It's super easy to replace. I just don't
So-
want to.
Some
'Cause
tinker.
then I would
will
have to
be-
buy it.
Yeah, some tinker can do it. And of course, last but not least, playing Cilero Talia, we've got Drew.
I don't have anything cool. I have.
You have a
hard
dog that's
drive.
trying to get underneath the table.
He's currently outside.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeeted out of the house. Yes. I've got my as far as props, I've got my Bubba is out of commission, or at least until I get around to looking under a bed or a table to find the spigot or whatever you call it. So I'm rocking this Gatorade. But I should say non-branded, because it's almost like I strategically placed it to not show the brand logo. But this big guy to hydrate with. And of course I've got
Crocodile ale.
Yes. I've got my Yorkshire tea in here.
Oh.
Yorkshire tea. And I've got once again still the Freedom Tower from Tank Brewing.
I've taken the back cover off. It's super easy to repair the battery if one was so inclined.
Yes.
anybody can do it. It's just 2 Phillips screws.
Mhm.
And I am drinking jalapeno ranch water and with home infused jalapeno tequila.
Nice.
Which Star Wars is that advertising?
This was Star Wars Night 2015 at Oak Street Draft House and Cocktail
In downtown
Parlor
Denton,
Oh.
Texas.
in concert with More Fun Comics and Games.
I was always under the impression that Denton wasn't big enough for a downtown. Like, I'm picturing a much smaller town.
Oh no, Denton's huge.
Yeah,
Also,
there's stuff going on in Denton. I've never
also
been
you
there.
said
I will put it
But I'm
this
aware.
way.
I've
The
been
Denton
told wrong.
Square exists, and it is at least big enough for 2 universities.
yes.
You can have both hoot and nanny.
You said
Not
Texas
Not
ranch.
necessarily
She
in
said
that
it.
order.
She said that it did get much bigger within the last, like, 10 to 20 years.
Yeah.
So,
You said Texas ranch water or something along those lines. And
Cool.
I had to stop and think and say, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and probably assume that it doesn't have anything to do with ranch dressing.
I mean,
It's not a
see,
drink with
I
ranch.
didn't make that assumption. I was assuming, jalapeno tequila and some sort of ranch seasoning. That's a weird combination for a refreshing beverage. But you fucking weird Texas. But
Yeah.
got it.
Bean dip.
It's jalapeno tequila that's way too spicy, so you use 1 ounce jalapeno tequila and 2 ounces of regular silver tequila, some lime juice, preferably fresh squeezed, but I was lazy and didn't. And of course, the bubbly of choice in
Topo Chico.
Texas, Topo Chico.
They started
Topo
selling it
Chico.
up here in the northern states
It's
Yes.
the
of Ohio.
best.
Yes.
I like to go
Uh,
for the lime topo.
Yes.
No.
That's fantastic.
So we're here for
Uh,
D&D, everybody. If you haven't,
Ostensibly. So a couple things. So we're here for D&D. We're gonna do a kind of a chill downtime stream because we're gonna be mostly doing
do homework too.
do a little bit of homework, doing a little bit of like leveling up, doing a little bit of like RPing the leveling up because there's gonna be some. I'd like to kind of have, the characters are gonna like make themselves better so that they earn the things they're gonna earn in level 5. Except for Lucius, who doesn't get anything level 5, unfortunately.
Lucius just smokes a big old bowl and,
Well, there you go.
learns some new spells.
Yes, he's gonna learn some new spells, and that just comes from nature. And the Wild Mother.
What do you think the bowl's for?
Exactly.
The wildest mother.
Yes. So, but
That's his new strain, the wild mother.
of course, I mean, we want to give any shout outs to the people we're using. Right now, we're just mainly pulling from the Explorer's Guide to Wildmount stuff and things like that, and probably going to be pulling from Xanathar's Guide for some downtime activities. We'll see, or regular downtime activities. But yes, to recap. And check out the notes for like links and shout outs and things like that. To recap, the party just finished a mission dealing with the frightened flower and a demonic presence or fiendish presence there, defeating a Lamia that had taken over the bar under the guise of its would-be owner, kind of usurping her place, presumably tricking people into thinking she was her, things like that. They dealt with that. They had, they found out a few things more about what was happening there, and then last week they were. Yesterday, the day before, but last week in real life, they had some kind of like a little bit of a recovery and clean up. They had a nice night
Self-care.
out. Yeah, self-care. They had a nice night out with the with Minetta, the owner of the Fire and Flower. They went to another tavern, had some good food, a night of drinks, and relaxation under the stars. Which I kind of want to. I'm pretty proud of. I will say, just to kind of all the things that like I pull from other places, I want to pat myself on the back that I made that tavern up. That whole like
Nice.
outside area.
Nice.
I might, who knows? I might commission somebody to kind of draw that up. But they had a nice night out. The next day they claimed their pay for the work of dealing with the Fire and Flower. Talked to her. Talked to the Marquise of Port Tamale about that. Also found out that if they ever need to, they can check. They can either check in with her, check any kind of postings in town to find other work. Summer checked back in with the Cobalt Soul and got a bit of encouragement, and especially for being able for fully getting some training at the Cobalt Soul. So let's get into this. We're gonna have a couple of weeks of, or roughly give or take, of just downtime / training / people doing things to whatever they'd like to get better. So we'll start with the most straightforward for summer. You pretty much kind of like get motivated to start right away. So what you'll be able to do, so you're gonna get assigned a couple of a training partner. You start like doing some more studying to get properly to learn a little bit more about the history of the Cobalt Soul and things like that. Like you remember that you needed to do. So as far as that, I'm gonna count it. So Cobalt Soul, when you're doing training and things like that, I'm gonna count it as the research downtime activity per week.
Okay.
And it counts as that. It's a combination of things. It's like researching and learning and things like that, and training physically. But it's all under one roof, and it's just kind of like multidisciplinary and things like that. And it's with rather than being a specific thing, it is just a general kind of research. So what you do find out is that it does cost the same as doing research, quote unquote. There's the option of paying like a tuition fee, 50 gold a week, like you're doing research. There's also an option for a one-time sizable pay, but you do learn quite a bit because you have the whole library and you have the training of the Cobalt Soul. Okay, so it would just cost 100 gold, but you get a whole lot of research, and you get a whole lot. You have resources available, the library and help at the library to research, to learn and research and things like that.
Should I remove that in D&D Beyond or Foundry?
D&D Beyond.
Okay.
I don't even have Foundry up.
So I'm spending 2 weeks training at the Cobalt Soul.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what we're doing.
Okay.
Like, that's like and we'll probably cut in with everybody doing things at different points during this couple weeks.
Yeah.
I'm
just
Yeah.
Making notes for my own sake.
Yeah. And then, but you'll still get the uh you still be able to do 2 rolls for learning lore.
Oh.
And you can't, and since we're doing the research, I don't know if you have access to NDD Beyond the Xanathar's guide and the research.
We should.
guide too. You should have it. You do have the option of bumping up your your intelligence check by spending more money, if you prefer. But
It'll cost you.
it's like 50 gold for an extra +1. So
we got that.
where it's not a. So if you.
Okay. So it's you spend an extra 50 gold to get the +1.
To get another +1.
Up to
6.
Up to 300 gold total. Oh my gosh.
Wait.
I'll
We're
just
willing
make
to
the
invest
roll.
in our kitty.
Yeah, just one single roll. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll chance it.
Yeah,
Okay. How do roll? Where do I do this?
We trust in you.
You can roll anywhere, and then just add your intelligence, which I think is a 0. Not to cast, which is not to cast.
Int. There we go. There. 13.
Nice. Yeah.
So this is a 13.
Yeah, you learn 2 big pieces of lore, which is, yeah. Let me look at a couple of things you learn.
They who dealt it.
Is there something? Is there some subject matter you were focusing in to start with, or a couple of subject matters that you were focusing in to start with?
Let me refer to my notes. Let's go.
Laying down the dankest beats and all of
studying more about Ioun.
Yeah. Ioun is part of the Pantheon of Exandria. Some of the obvious stuff that you kind of even pre this role, you'll know that she's not as worshipped nowadays, but she was a big one that was worshipped by a lot of sages and teachers and things like that. She is especially throughout the Age of Arcanum, and pre-Calamity, she's kind of associated with as somebody who guide let me see. Revered by seers and sages and teachers of all walks of life, Ioun guided the growth of civilization throughout the Age of Arcanum like sunlight guides the branches of a tree. To knowledge, information. You know that she's known as a god of that nowadays people that are devout to her worship mostly in private, trying to spread knowledge, philosophy, things like that. That is surface level stuff that you without even learning this role that you learn. You kind of learn basically what the first couple paragraphs in the book about what it describes Ioun and things like that. You do know that in what you do uncover is that Ioun was one of the big figures in that fought in the Calamity, fighting many many of the betrayer gods, and one of the big ones that you discover, you learn of. This is something that it's probably not something that came up in your lives. Is that she also fought alongside Pelor in those battles when like the gods joined in the battles during the calamity. There were moments that they fought alongside each other in particular, including one time where Ayun in one of the battles was grievously wounded by the Chained Oblivion, one of the Tharis Dune, and this caused Pelor to hunt the Chained Oblivion down and kind of destroy him or defeat him and seal him in response to that.
Cool.
And that's the big one, is like her role in the calamity and her battles and things like that. The other big piece of information you learn is how the Cobalt Soul is connected to her, is in that they take her representation of the journey for knowledge, and learning the mysteries of the world, learning the information, knowledge, and they kind of like in practice they take that teaching to uncover the truths of the world, solve the mysteries of the world, but also in particular, as Ayun is in particular, the exposing corruption, putting corruption out into the open, uncovering things like that, uncovering the hidden deceptions and lies. Like, it is, regardless of where people supposedly lie in alignment with each other. This is kind of why she's like, if you want to be meta, she's a neutral god. She's true neutral god, because just her endeavor is purely seeking the knowledge and exposing it and having it freely available. And that makes sense now, looking at how open they are with their vast libraries. Everybody, like all your friends are able to just come in and just and you notice a big thing, like they get escorted around, but you notice that they never get barred from places other than like living quarters, private reading, reserved private study areas, or the monk training area, the monastery, and that's mostly just like privacy and safety and privacy. Like, it's never trying to hide information, and the only reason they get escorted is just so they don't break anything. Like, it's just to make sure that nothing gets destroyed and nothing gets stolen. Not because they don't want that information to be out there, but because if something gets stolen, that book or that tome or that scroll could become lost, and that information could just be lost and get destroyed, be lost. So
makes sense.
So you notice that's what the Cobalt Soul. That's how the Cobalt Soul. That you realize how what is ostensibly, you can tell, is like, it ties up that this is a monastery, and you see at its core is also a monastery for a god, but you realize it is a god of knowledge, of order, of like study knowledge, uncovering mystery, things like that. And that's and you know that's one of the big things that they uh get into.
Okay.
Yeah. So you want to roll for the second week just to see what else you learn?
There it goes. Ooh, a 4. See, that one wouldn't have felt much.
Let me see, what was it? The 4. I think it was like feeling anything. Yeah, you have you're kind of doubling back on things. You mostly just learn surface level stuff. Which is you do still learn more because you're obviously still reading and researching. You're still learning more, but you mostly learn like surface level stuff, like doubling back on what you knew and the what was that? And like the surface level political stuff. In that, one of the things that they usually try to stay out of political dealings, other than like trying to expose corruption. Which again, doubling
Okay.
back on what you understood, mostly just new surface level stuff, but nothing. In your second week, you're kind of like you end up just reinforcing what you knew and kind of learning a few more surface like stuff. No big meaty stuff, but you're still learning and growing and things like that. Then while that's happening, you're also training with Tori, in particular. They trained quite a few different recruits, including some members. You find out one of the days you run into Holly from the Loving Spoon pub, the waitress. You find out that she's also training there. How they know this is Stephen girl in her like outfit, and and you find out she's the main thing. She's been working at various like pubs and bars just to kind of like be able to like pay for the tuition and things like that. But she's there. She's a very bubbly personality. We'll probably get to hang out with her. But like, yeah, particularly like your first day is eventful, and we'll start with that. Like your first day there, you set up. There's quite a few recruits. You see, they start to kind of come in. You go to the training area. They come in, and you see, Tori comes in, and they kind of set up in the center. Today in particular, you see that one of their assistants is Lowen, and then another like higher ranking initiate. Is it kind of like her coaching assistants, and one of their coaching assistants, and it is interesting. So they get up there and they give a kind of speech of welcome you very very sternly, trying to like they give you the speech of welcoming you, but it's very like stern. And it's all right. This is the first day of training. Things are about to get serious. Let's get started. And they set you up with Holly to spar with. All right. You stand across from each other, and you kind of like get yourself ready in combat position.
Weapons or no weapons?
you start off with no weapons. It's just
Okay.
and it's not a fight. It's mostly going through basics, going through just starting from centers and coaching you through that, and stances. And you see Tori kind of walks by you, kind of studies you up and down as you get into your like. They instruct everyone to get into their ready stance. You presumably get into yours at how you've always stood. I would say they study you. I study Holly. And then they kind of like circle the like little training area. You kind of like have a square, like a rectangular training area to yourself. And they got in back of you, and suddenly, they're kind of like walking with their quarterstaff. You kind of feel something pushing your leg. Make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh my goodness. 18 plus 6.
Cat-like reflexes.
24.
So you make your save, which means that you are able to. You still get tripped up because this is what happens, but you're able to catch yourself after that happens very, very quickly. You're able to but they affect you. Like they affect your stance, like inefficient stance. Let's move your hip here. And they kind of like move your hip forcefully in here. More grounded, more effective. Get your position. I do similar adjustments to Holly. All right, Summer. All right, strike. And you do your strike. All right. Strike.
Oh, that was a noise. Was it supposed to make a noise?
Maybe in Foundry.
I guess so. Yeah.
Did you roll? Did you critically?
You know, I rolled a 14 and there's a plus 6, so I think that's maybe it counted it as a 20, but
I don't know.
a natural 20, but it's a 20
People applaud.
for the attack.
Yeah, and you can also okay. Okay, good quality. There's no damage roll. And you do have you go do your second attack or your bonus attack. Bonus.
There it goes. It's really slow. Another 20. Did you hear that? Please tell me someone heard that. It was fanfare with trumpets and stuff.
Oh, wild. I think I have a dramatic rolls a module.
Wow. Neat.
I don't know. Like I'm not in there because I didn't open it. It's weird. I'm glad it lets you go in even when I'm not in there.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I'm using D&D Beyond, but then I have Foundry open and it's rolling over there.
Yeah.
Kind of fun to watch.
But yeah, and like they're practice strikes and they're sparring strikes, and they're good quality sparring strikes. So you don't really do any damage to Holly. Obviously, you're kind of like she's blocking, you're doing it. So and then Holly does the same. Where do I have my character sheet for Holly? I think I have one. I think I just was using her. Like initiate. That's a sheet.
I don't think I've had a vodka sunrise in like 8 years. Makes me feel so old.
You can have 2 in less than that. You know, I need to make up for being in a dry county for a little while. That was that was a very weird time. When you're like, what do adults do? Like, where did they go? Like, where's the bingo hall? Because they're not going to the B-dubs. I'm sorry, we were in a moist county.
Yeah.
Moist County.
Okay.
Damn.
I don't know.
Do 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 do.
I don't remember having that.
Do 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 do.
So Holly kind of just does her 2 attacks and to do well. You kind of go back and forth in practicing your strikes, and they teach everyone, and you kind of go through a pretty rigorous like training process. And Tori walks over and is like, "All right, well, you're doing well, but I think you can do a lot better if you adjust your follow through here and your positioning afterwards." Kind of like very like sternly, and then you because it's very inefficient. You're wasting time between moves. You can get a whole other movement even without your key. Like it just if you can like reposition and focus yourself and be efficient with your follow through, and she kind of like she very like grabs you like and kind of not grabs I would say like but like because she doesn't like but she kind of like asking but very sternly to adjust you like let me adjust.
Forcefully guiding.
Yeah. But it's effective, and you're kind of learning to kind of like you realizing the parts where you were wasting that little bit of time that you could have gotten an extra attack without even having to do your flurry of blows. And that's that is like for your first couple of trainings. It's like and in particular one of the days you finish up training, Tori wraps everyone up and they walk off, and Holly kind of like as soon as Tori walks away she collapses down like this like
I sit on the floor with her.
yeah. Oh boy, I didn't know it was gonna be this hard. Oh, my back hurts.
First time.
No.
Oh.
But I didn't. I mean, it feels like my first time. How
Feels like the first time.
are your back and thighs burning as much as mine are?
Oh, they're a little squishy right now.
You're good. I'm glad I'm training with you. I'm learning a lot. How do you learn all this?
Practice and experience, practical experience.
Yeah, I need to
You
get
can
out
only learn so much from listening to others, reading books. You have to go out and do it yourself.
there. Yeah. Oh, God, I need a drink. Want to go out for cocktails?
Heck yes. Let's do it, Holly.
Today's my night off. So I'm gonna get lit. You guys,
Yeah,
All right.
fam.
and then you find and you guys have a girls' night out. where
Getting wrecked.
it has drinks. I think, well, you guys have like conversation. Is there anything you guys like just gab about, or you just do like general conversation about life, just drinks and fun?
Yeah, just general chit chat.
Um,
Digging into stories where it feels appropriate.
yeah. You mostly just
Universal basic income.
Yes. And it's fun. You guys have a good night, and then like you keep training. The others like you start following up with other training, and the other thing, the big thing, I would say that's make it like efficiency of movement and things like that. Like getting your work down for that. That takes up your first week or so. So you essentially, it's like you're training your extra attack because that's what you're going to get in level 5. The other big thing is, you have one of the days in your second week, you get in there and she's like, all right, how much do you, class, how much do you know about, targeting pressure points in your opponent? And everybody kind of looks at each other. A little. All right. And kind of everybody's a little tough to figure out. That's okay. We're gonna drill down. This is gonna be this week. We're gonna drill down. Channel your ki to get into your opponent's weak points and pressure points and make them ineffective. And you kind of like have moments where like Tori will sometimes like correct you on where precisely to strike and things like that, and they'll even like demonstrate and on if you let them, they'll even demonstrate on you, and you when they do it, they hit you in just the right spot, and you find yourself like utterly literally stunned for about a few seconds, and like until you kind of like you're able to finally kind of get out of it, and you realize you feel the power of like being able to capacitate, and you realize how useful that can be, and you train that, and essentially learning your stunning strike.
Cry in the dojo, laugh on the battlefield.
Anyone ever had someone hit a pressure point on them and it just drops you to the ground?
I did years of jujitsu. I've had my arm stop working because somebody rolled over on it in a weird way. Yes, I have met pressure points millions of times.
Yeah, you start to learn those things, and you're able to like not only that, but you're able to hit the right point, and then you're incorporate your ki, and you're able to feed in, connect, and just lock people up. With your stunning strike,
Vulcan death grip.
Yeah, so that is your leveling up to level 5. So you can go ahead and like in your character builder just levels go to level 5.
Hit that anvil.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
smack that anvil. Tell it what's up.
Go ahead and roll your hit dice for adding your hit point.
Oh God, how do I do this?
In their class in your character builder, they actually leave a little like dice thing in the bottom corner.
Oh.
And then you should be able to roll your hit dice, and then if it's a 1, re-roll it. But, and then what you'll do is you'll then go into your which I think we go before. You go into manage HP, and then just add whatever number to the total. Add it to whatever number is in rolled HP.
It.
So
I'm gonna roll a D8.
Mm-hmm.
Heck, how do I go back? There's the button.
Somehow she's rolled a 9.
It'd be like a monk to roll a 9.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Wild monk shit.
I rolled a 5.
Nice.
I see that.
Cool.
It
I
tells
had
me
the
way
option
over here.
to roll to everyone.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I thought we weren't using fortune today. Fuck.
Oh,
No,
this
is just in D&D Beyond.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just showed up there. But we're not.
No fanfare came out on my end, unfortunately.
Yeah. Don't worry about Foundry. So just add it to your rolled HP.
Got it. I think I did that.
Yeah. Yeah. You have
There are either children playing outside or children getting murdered outside.
or both. Also, give
screaming?
us. Yeah.
I hope my noise gate's going. So.
Okay.
Also, give yourself a long rest. I don't think I ever did that in D&D Beyond.
Thought we
It's been
did that.
a long rest.
Oh, maybe I didn't do it in D&D Beyond. I did it in Foundry.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Well, I'll worry about importing everyone into Foundry at some point. But yeah, I think that's the only major stuff for Monk is you're now you have
you touch stuff.
An extra attack. You have 5 key points now. That's the other thing. Like there's a lot of like after training meditating when you're not going out partying, and you now have 5 key points, which is wild. So now you have. So now as a level 5 monk, you have 2 attacks per turn and per action. Like your action is 2 attacks. Like just
a bonus.
And then you can do your bonus action attack.
Oh my god.
Or bonus action
K2
2 attacks.
Matterhorn.
And
Yeah.
of course with flurry of blows that means 2 more attacks. So theoretically you're right now, and it's only going to get up from here. Right now you're in a position where you're you can send to start throwing 3. Okay. How many attacks do you get? You get flurry of blows. Okay. You immediately and then you make 2 unarmed strikes. So you can do 2 attacks and then 2 extra unarmed strikes if you choose flurry of blows.
Yes. So 4 total.
Fist, then elbow.
My god.
Then fist, then elbow.
Or
Awesome.
like thwack, like kick, like.
It's all in the hips.
Yeah, it's dope monk shit. And you also now have, Step of the Wind, of course, because keep in mind you can also use Step of the Wind for like if you ever need to disengage.
Yeah.
But I think you already had that. But you also now get Stunning Strike. So that's the big one. That's a really nice one because what you'll get with that is when you hit with a melee weapon attack, you can spend 1 key point to make the target stunned until the end of your next turn, if it fails a con saving throw. So you can hit him with a Stunning Strike. They have to do a con saving throw. DC 13 con saving throw, and if they fail, they are stunned, which is they can't do anything. They basically, and it is going to be super effective.
Cool. I also get focused aim.
Yeah.
When you miss with an attack roll, you can spend a key point to increase your attack roll by 2.
Mm-hmm.
I
can
spend
see
up to
many
3
times.
key points.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
You miss it to increase your attack. Yeah. So, and that's the other big thing you learn is like that efficiency.
You never lose.
That efficiency, that like follow through, that focus, channeling your ki into all that. It is. So I've like, you just miss. You can always just like gamble on a couple of key points.
Cool.
And hit them like 27 times in one
Go ahead
round.
and start filling out this post-it note here.
Yeah.
That's right.
With the collection.
Well, you got your
And
notebook.
purchase more
yeah, that's
ass
right.
kicking.
Fill these out while you guys are doing your thing.
Yeah. All right. Who will?
Are you an owl?
Who do we go next to next? I think the other one that
On that.
is Cilero. Cilero. How so? You find yourself that you're wanting to be a little bit more efficient. You've been thinking about like you have got a child. You haven't been able to like do what you want to do and direct Chavo to attack, and things like that. Or you also kind of like have been wanting to get some extra efficiency. How do you practice and how do you learn to your extra attack? Like, do you just get out in the field, or do you...
I want to find a place and see if there's anybody that could maybe help me and Chavo sort of spar, get out in the woods.
Chavo, get some gloves on.
Yeah.
Yes. So I could
Left, right, left, right.
Oh, and me and Chavo can get sort of even more on the same page.
Yes. Your proficiency, blah blah blah. I will rework the training. So yeah, you're gonna start like training. You actually find that there's like a not too serious, but like a nice Rangers Guild, like that does offer training to would-be to aspiring Rangers and would-be people. It'll be the training, so it'll cost 25 gold for a week of the training, but so like 50 gold in total.
That's my gold. I'm willing to do that.
Yeah.
There's somebody that can help me out.
You meet a
50 gold.
You meet a kind of older wood elf, like a wood elf in like their what you would clock as like 50s, like yeah, get some ranger training in you. All right, I can certainly help you out with that. My name's Roland. Roland's like the synthesizer company.
Roland.
Yeah.
I was wondering.
Yes.
I was gonna say,
Which is also
as
a name.
musician, it's
so-
a name I'm familiar with.
Roland of the V730 Rolands?
Yes.
Right, the 808 himself.
Yes. But yeah.
The
Yes, he is
JC
808
120
years
jazz
old.
chorus.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Roland. Yes, it's
He has a twin brother named Boss.
me and Chavo started traveling together not long ago, and
Stepson.
Yes.
I've been alone most of this time. I could use some help in how to be
Yeah.
better with my animal companion.
Yes. And one of the things me and Chippy here. We're long time pals. We get a lot of things done. I'm and you see Chippy is a
A
hawk.
MOSFET. Oh.
Ah,
Is a-
okay.
is a hawk that he is his companion animal.
Caw.
There. Well, we're different types of animals, but a lot of things carry over as far as like connecting with your companion, connecting with your follow, with your animal, and but also it's a little bit about getting into yourself and being more efficient yourself. It's more than and then the working together. But let's get out there and let's get out there in these woods and do some training. And you kind of get out to not all the way into the what was it? Let me burp first. Let me. Oh man. So. Portal. There. So, for my own reference. So there.
Hood ratchet with our friends.
Actually.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
So you guys end up wandering out into kind of some like open field areas outside of Port Damali, not in the wood areas, but mostly just kind of find an open field and start just going through some exercises of communication. It's like, hey, all right, first you gotta have short, clear commands. You're already got the connection with your friend. You get them short, clear commands. They'll listen. Also, if you're efficient with your, let me see you shoot a bow. Yeah.
Shoot a boat?
No, not a boat. A bow.
A bolt? Okay, well, I've got a crossbow around here, so I'm mortal. No.
You're not even there. Neither am I.
And then you
Did
see
that
that
carry over?
I don't know. I'm looking.
I'm
let me
just a
look
simple country not listener very weller.
Let me see in the game log. It's probably in the game log. You just rolled. Yeah, he had set up,
17.
and you hit the target that Roland was in the middle of setting up right next to it. You hit it
Oops.
right there. Like, hey, whoa, that's a good hit. Eager are you? I like that. Let me see another one. And
I hesitate because I don't want to hit
he
him.
kind of like backs away.
But
Oh, you hit basically bullseye. Like that the circle in the middle. You kind of like the left side of it. But it's still 10 points. you know, and you don't bust the camera. You don't bust the bullseye cam.
come close.
Yes. That was one of the funnier moments. I wonder, did they do like cameras in the bullseye at like official real events? Like little like bullseye. I don't know. All right. Back to the role play. All right. we're getting back into this.
My safe word is Sasuke.
Yes. All right. I like your form, but you can be more fluid. Let me show you. And you see that he sits kind of like stands next to you, pulls out his bow, and you can tell it's a super tough bow that he's been using for years, and it should be more damage, but you see that he maintains it really well, and repairs it often. It's a very beautiful longbow, but that has like stains on it and things like that, and see where his hand has been.
Cheeto dust.
So, and then he's like, "All right, watch this." And he pulls out, knocks one bow, shoots it. Knocks one arrow, shoots it. Knocks another arrow, shoots it in quick succession. So it's like he's able to do, and they both hit to the left and to the right of your arrow. like if you can get fluid movement from the quiver to the bow, going from quiver to the bow, you can get extra shot out. Yeah, you start practicing it. It's like you start getting it. And as he kind of like guides you with it, and kind of like, no, you're reaching too far to your left. And he's like, you gotta have it ready and go. And it's like doom, and he kind of pulls you through the motions of being able to like you're able to kind of like get trust. Like one of the things that he teaches you is not your instinct to kind of slightly look behind you for your quiver, just to like make sure you're grabbing your arrow. He gets you kind of more confident in just knowing that it's going to be there. Like knowing that your next arrow is going to be there and ready without you having to like look or double check, and that just gets you so much more efficient. Yeah, I think that's the main thing. And you kind of like have and then he has odd bonding exercises. He does have you stare into Chavo's eyes.
Tell each other
like,
you love him.
Here, you tell him you care about him, and you give him affirmations.
I've made it to Cajun TikTok.
Man, we're training out here.
What?
Man, we're training out here.
What?
You see?
Well done.
Ma'am, you see this young woman stumble out into the field, drunkenly exclaiming her excitement. Ma'am,
This is some animal bonding going on right now. Thank you very much. You broke the concentration. They were mind melding over here.
Oh my god.
He deals with her, but this is all happening late at night, so there's occasional a lot.
It's like about 9:59 in the Eastern.
And you kind of get back into the moment, and it feels odd. Is there anything you say to Chavo as you stare into his slotted eyes,
square pupils of love?
Tell him my gumbo recipe. No.
Are you sure this
Not so
guy
much-
isn't named Amos Moses?
That's right. You're gonna knock him in the Yahoo.
Not so much what I say, but just sort of a comforting sort of pet along the top of his head. with both of my hands.
Yes. You do that. He
Crazy fucking night
chooses.
over here.
He chews on your hair as you do that, and you can. It's odd, but oddly enough, you can feel that that's Chavo's way of like returning the favor. Like,
Gross.
and he just kind of chews your hair a bit, and you're like, you finish up, and you kind of like your hair is sticking up from goat spit. Yes, now you're together as one, truly bonded. Now let us sit under the stars and enjoy. And Roland just passes out sleeping. He's here. And then like with who is Chippy just kind of like pecking at his hair. Just like pecking at his head.
I'm trying to give Chavo a look like, is this our cue?
Mom, I only want like I don't want the
What?
I mean, I don't
I'm sort of start to walk.
You could you don't know that goats can chug that can shrug. But you swear that maybe Chavo did something equivalent to a shrug, like And what did you say you do?
I was gonna say we sort of take a look at him sleeping, and we look at each other and just sort of
it's back.
Sort of walk back to town.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess this is our leave.
Yes. That was one of your, and luckily that was one of your like later training sessions. You have a couple more that are just as weird, but oddly enough, at the end of it, you do feel a lot more efficient in your like attacks and in your abilities, and yeah, you feel now you can truly now you can start to get not just more efficient as a ranger, but more connected and with your with Chavo, and then on your own time you also kind of like get a little bit more in tune with like just like getting your you also like learn the connection to your magic, but that's kind of something that I'll say Roland helps you a little bit with like expanding your ranger spells and things like that, but a lot of that is just kind of self-taught, and you're able to kind of expand your spell knowledge really nicely. But yeah, that's how you learn your extra attack. Nice.
Awesome.
Okay, so I think you already put yourself at level 5, right?
Yeah, because I was looking and I saw that the only thing that looks like it adds as far as a feature is the extra attack, which will only matter in battle.
Yeah.
But it's, and then the other thing I would have to do is the HP, which looks like a D10.
Yeah,
I have
roll
to roll
D10, and you should be able to also do it just in the character builder. But yeah.
Wait, under what?
You can do it. Or like where where you manage HP, and since you do your character builder, you can do it there, or you can do it on your character sheet, or you can do it in Foundry, or you can do it wherever you can do it physically. Just grab a D10.
I was just gonna do. Does this work? Where does it pop off at? 4. It's like a 4.
4. All right, so yeah, just add that to your rolled HP number in under manage HP.
Apply. 41. My new total.
Nice.
Not
too
shabby.
All right, now Mortal, it's your turn. I want to watch both. But did PD act with RP both of these?
But I mean, the main thing, Mortal is pretty straightforward, and it's a lot of just learning. I mean, do you guys notice that anybody that visits Summer at the Cobalt Soul, which I presume everybody comes by and visits and see what she's up to, you'll notice that Mortal's also there, just hitting the books, and when he's not there, you swear he's off with his alchemy kit, just experimenting, either in his room or sometimes you'll hear like a slight boom, something like, and then Mortal has black soot on his face, like, I didn't work, but I'm almost there. And then one other time you hear a zzz. I don't know how I managed that.
Turning lead into gold over there, aren't you, Mortal?
Oh, something along those lines. Let's see. Ooh, cool. Also, other sidetrack. The other thing you get in level 5 is you get 2 second level spell slots. You get second level spells, Drew. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just is
a pain in the ass with that.
Yes. But yeah, as an artificer, it's just honing his craft as as an alchemist, and at the end of the day, at the end of his leveling up, he becomes an alchemical savant. The main thing is that he develops a masterful command of magical chemicals. So from now on, whenever he's going to cast a spell that uses his alchemist supplies as a spellcasting focus, he gains a bonus to one roll of the spell. So the roll must restore hit points or be a damage roll that deals acid, fire, necrotic, or poison damage. And the bonus equals the intelligence modifier. So now anytime he either heals anybody with a spell, like Healing Word or Cure Wounds. I think he just knows Cure Wounds, but might know Healing Word actually. No, but Cure Wounds, he gets an additional a +4 to it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because of the intelligence modifier. And that same goes for any spells that do acid, fire, necrotic, or poison damage. His alchemical attacks are extra potent. And I think that's the main thing he gets. Yeah. Other than he has second level spell slots now.
Good for him.
The cool thing is that he also, because of the alchemist, he gets 2 spells that he's gonna always have prepared. He's gonna always have flaming sphere, and Melf's acid arrow.
That's right, Melf. Get down with it.
Get down with your bad Melf.
I mean, I think Melf was one of Gary Gygax's kids' characters. Like Melf is like him and Mordenkainen, and yeah. So Melf, me and Melf go back.
Yeah,
his acid arrow. Woo,
an acid arrow. So he's learning quite a bit. The next up, I guess, Toby.
Yes.
So,
I got ideas.
Yes. What do you got for? So you're gonna try to get better with your bardic inspiration and things like that, and learn more spells. But what are you thinking of doing these couple weeks?
Well, so I my knee jerk was like, hey, I want to learn how to make these some boots out of the stuff, and I was like, really at this point in my life, do I really need to pick up another skilled trade? So I figure maybe I can go track somebody down like I am of the lore college. Maybe I can find a way to, like, you know, let's try my hand at crafting items of mild magical ability. That might be a path that I would like to go down. Maybe find maybe try and dig up a recipe somewhere for a pair of slightly out of fashion boots of low level.
Yeah, you start. I would say anybody that there's not a lot of like there's a couple of cobblers that you meet, and like other like artisans, but they say that, well, if you're gonna learn kind of like to enchant, the best bet is in town is just to kind of start studying a little bit at the library. Other than that, or maybe enchanters are. We don't have any big enchanters here in Port Damali. There's I hear there's one in Rexingtrim or Zadash if you're willing to go into the Empire.
They're like a correspondence course, like a night school.
But I hear you can learn a lot at the library, kind of like in they have a lot of available books at the library for researching.
I'll take a look.
Skill. How long do you spend kind of like learning? Do you spend the whole, like, you just do both weeks that?
Sure. I feel like this is an all-in kind of situation. Because I'm not starving right now. I have enough money to live a comfortable life without playing gigs. It's time for me to learn. I don't know what I'm going to learn, but it's time to hit the books. Gestation period of a bugbear? Who knows?
Yeah. I'm gonna say you're gonna do some initial research if you want to kind of learn the general art of like enchanting and crafting.
Correct.
So I would count that as the research, yeah. Because if we're going for a specific item, yeah, I'll do research. You can do a couple of weeks of research similar to what Summer did. 50 gold to kind of like in resource item and resources and per week. You can also add more, more to your intelligence check
as
with
needed.
As needed, you'd like. So let me pull up actually the thing.
The thing.
Let's see. Crafting. Get that. Okay, crafting. So are you going, is there a particular, are you learning specifically enchanting as a school?
I looked this up. Would it be like, there's some Xanathar guide.
Oh yeah, it'll be like research. Well, I'm thinking if you're learning the subject matter, it would be research.
Yeah.
If you want to like craft a specific item, you could pivot to crafting an item, and we could like there. But if you want to start learning.
Well, I would probably have to learn how to do it bbefore I do it.
Yeah, so you kind of like just a general idea of like how to do it, because you can always try to like just like put something together and as them, but if you don't really have
time, yeah, I should use this time for learning.
So it like I'm gonna and what I'm doing is I'm gonna incorporate the Kibbles Compendium of Craft and enchanting.
Okay.
Even though because that's gonna be where we're gonna do all of our crafting and enchanting, so that we have like the actual things. So as the one I linked. So if you wanted to learn specifically enchanting, like taking the items that you already craft and enchanting, we could do that. And then we'll do the research, and you'll learn one big piece of lore, or one big piece, or 2 or 3 big pieces of lore based on the roll.
Okay. Well, let's.
So if you want to you spend you find yourself like so is enchanting the one you want to like?
Yeah, let's start with enchanting.
Yeah. So the first week you kind of like they the routine for the Cobalt Soul is that they have you partnered with one of the sages to kind of escort you, make sure things are safe, make sure the books are safe and things like that. But you are directed to kind of like the arcane research, the enchanting research, and like the on the subject matter of enchanting. There's a lot of different like subsections of that. Yeah. So you want to just do the +1 bonus to your intelligence check?
Sure.
Just not add anything else. So yeah, you can do an intelligence check, and then we'll add a 1 on top of it.
I rolled an 18.
Okay, so that
so
is
21 plus 22.
22. So basically, yeah. You start to piece together a lot about like enchanting, and it's mostly on the subject matter, on the abstract, but you start to piece together a lot. You know that you learn that it's pretty hard and expensive, and it involves like involves a lot of like time and mental effort.
So it's like that ratatouille dish. I have to put my time and effort into it.
You learn, like, one of the big things you learn is that that people either do general item enchanting, or they go straight into scroll scribing or wand whittling for more specialized tools. Some people kind of like focus on jewelry crafting and things like that.
What about musical instrument crafting?
And then you also get a lot of that as well. But like it depending on where their preference is,
A lute that makes a fart noise.
Yes.
But only when you do like a C chord.
Okay.
But the fart noise is in key.
Enchanting. So,
nothing's more enchanting than a farting lute.
The big thing is that they emphasize is that a lot of the other crafts rely on having learning a particular tool, like leatherworking tools or cobbler's tools, or a lot of blacksmith tools. Whereas enchanting is not any particular one tool as much as your understanding of the arcane, your kind of like general understanding of the arcane and runes and things like that. The various subdomains. It does involve some physical work, but it's mostly an exercise in intellect, and that's why you kind of like the best enchanters are usually like wizards and things like that, but it is in particular anybody that has at least some understanding of the arcane or connection to the arcane to be able to wield it, and deeper understanding of and be able to bind those elements into the tools that you want to bind them to. and be able to use like those tools. The other big thing is that you start to get more in detail into like, man, what is involved, like the literal things involved with enchanting, and you kind of learn that on top of like physical actual components and things like that, of constructing the physical thing, you have to actually also imbue it with depending on the enchantment, depending on the school of thought, the school of magic that you want to imbue it with, you need particular essences. And the essences will either come in arcane, primal, or divine. And the rarity and quality of the essence dictates the quality of the enchanting. Your commons, uncommons, rares, very rares, legendary. And these essences could be a lot of things. They could be organs of magical monsters. They can be synthesized from like magical reagents. That can be put into a magic compound. Things like that. It is the things that of innate magic that is used to power the enchantment, and your Eye of Newt and your knoll nose hair, nose
my
hair
sugar, my spice, my everything nice.
Exactly. And that's the other big thing kind of you learn about that. As my PDF reader.
We're all out of snips, but we got snails and puppy dog tails.
Yes. And that like it is a multi-step process. You learn that a lot of the enchanting is a very tedious multi-step process. Every couple, as you kind of like, you have to work over hours with however long, depending on the quality and detail of the enchanting and the level of and the essences that you're using. It dictates how long of time you have to spend on the craft. Because it'd be anywhere from a couple hours to like a week to like a month. But you have to also be careful that you spend quality time and you take care, because enough errors in the process can be like if you any particular error in the process could cause a setback and cause progress, and you have to like step back and start over from that point, or enough errors and all your progress and all your materials are basically lost and can't be salvaged. So, which basically in literal game terms is that how it would work is you would learn the recipe and you would put in time in crafting it, and you for each 2 hours of progress that you want to work on it, you make a roll. Basically, you make a crafting roll, which is a crafting roll is the enchanting modifier is your Arcana proficiency bonus plus your intelligence modifier. So it's like a double thing. So
so 3 plus 2.
Yeah. I think that yeah.
Plus, I'm lucky.
Yes, I think it's proficiency bonus. And then a success means you make that much progress. A failure means you make no progress. You kind of have to double back and re-engineer what you go back to where you were before, kind of like erase the mistakes you made. And if you fail 3 times in a row, you just like you all progress is lost, and the materials are lost and can't be salvaged.
3 times in a row is
It's very hard to
yes.
you that has to be in a row. Like, it's not just 3 failures, it's 3 times in a row. So
I'm willing to take that risk.
yeah, and a lot of the recipes are you can ask around or enchanters, and there's a lot of different items. A lot of things you can kind of like infer on your own and improvise, just based on what you understand of the item, and what makes sense. Like a lot of one of the big examples is one of the more oddly not it's uncommon. It's not common, but but it is readily available, and it's one of the example recipes that they give you as like, for example, it's pretty easy to kind of like infer that for a bag of holding you'll need a bag, and a couple of arcane essences, and and some of the spell component. Well, you might, and that will invoke the idea of the hidden or secret storage space. In particular, if you're not aware, that spell is a scroll of secret chest. So it tells you like, and it takes about this long. So it tells you like, as an example recipe, it gives you the bag of holding, which is a bag. Just any old bag or like a nice bag. A lot of people you know the iconic bag of holding look. But that's because that's a very common bag everyone gets, or not common, but like that's the like, I'm gonna get a bag of holding. Well, I'm gonna get the bag that kind of has that design because like I'm gonna
Jansport backpack.
Yeah. With the little bird on the thing, that I kind of like, but it can be any bag. It can be an inconspicuous bag. Mortle in particular, despite the design that we have our thing, kind of has just a regular old bag as this bag of holding.
Bagpipes of holding.
It doesn't show. It doesn't tell you that recipe. But you might be able to find something about instruments of some, but like particularly it tells you it's a bag, a scroll of secret chest, the spell secret chest, and 2 uncommon arcane essences. It takes a couple of days, and by a couple of days is 16 hours of work. You spend 8 hours a day. If you spend a day working on a craft, that's an 8-hour process. It's just a matter of getting essences, things like that. So those are the big 3 things you learn is like the nature of like enchanting and how it ties into, rather than it being an art that ties into a specific tool. It is more of your understanding of the arcane. Your other second piece of lore is the idea that he uses like essences and components, and like in particular types of essences, and how you can get them, and kind of the literal process. Like you find this book that kind of like talks about, oh yeah, this is kind of like how you do these things if you understand the arcane, literal processes. And in all the different books, there's always a little anecdote. It's like, it's always best to talk to an experienced enchanter to learn a little bit more as you go along and you start to experiment, and things like that.
I once knew an enchanter named Tim.
Yeah.
He was mostly into pyrotechnics. He had great horns on his head.
Yeah. So, do you? So that's your first week, because you learned quite a bit. You went on a tear in your research.
That's right.
What do you do on your second week? Do you do more research? Do you do any other downtime activities?
Hell yeah, we'll do more research. Hit them books.
Any particular subject matter or anything in
music, the bard, and enchanting bard instruments specifically.
Let's see.
So they're like a novelty enchantments for parlor tricks and fun times. The toilet book that you read.
Yeah. All right. Sorry. Adobe Acrobat is like when I scroll too fast, it locks up. Let's see. Yeah. Go ahead and give me
3 steps.
Yeah, give me another research roll. And let me know if
That
you
would
want to spend
be
more money.
intelligence plus my intelligence modifier and my arcana.
It should be just an intelligence check and then +1. Or unless it
My intelligence, so that would be 19.
No, 19.
No, 19.
Let's see. What can
SMRT.
Let's see.
I want to make a weapon called the Hurt E-Gertie. That goes da 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 da.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah.
I need to learn to sing that entire song like that.
Okay.
Something like a star in my fast lake. I open my eyes to take a peep. To find that I was by the sea, me grazing with tranquility.
Ink?
And then I rosined up Cilero's bow, and I played the side of a tree cutting saw, and
What?
I learned how to magically make the yeah.
Oh, but seriously, one of my 2nd level spells looks so cool.
Dude, are you gonna grease something up?
Fucking, I have to pick what my healing spirit looks like now.
The potato.
Fucking spirit. Like, apparently,
Spirit of rock and roll is alive.
3 people get healed with a 1d6 as they pass through this shit, and it stays until 3 people get healed for this shit.
Yeah.
And I'm so pumped.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm helpful to the party by damage, and now I can be helpful to the party by not having damage, and I can be a nice guy.
Yeah.
I want my character to be a nice guy that helps out by more than just the bow.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. This is exciting. Leveling up is always exciting.
I'm leveling up my mind. I'm hitting the books.
Alright, so I'm going to
Where do you work out? At the library.
So you start looking through like different like books about and try to find like recipes. There's not
books about
you find that a lot of enchantments are usually bespoke recipes, or at least like read a recipe or like guarded recipes by enchanters. But you start to see some like very common like or at least uncommon recipes. You don't see like musical instruments in particular, but you do start to piece together a little bit of how like the recipes, like what they usually are, which is okay. The thing, some arcane or primordial, or like an essence that is needed, in
Jerry Garcia in a bag.
Yeah, like an essence that is like pertains to the school of magic that you know, like you have to kind of go with a spell in mind, or with like a school of enchantment in mind, or like a design, kind of in mind.
Yeah, an enchantment spell.
And then it'll usually involve like a scroll, procuring a spell scroll with like the pertinent like spell that most fits, and you can like imagine
noxious gas.
Yes,
like there are all kinds of fun things.
Yeah, like like if you want to do like an instrument of like that kind of instrument,
enlarged person.
Yeah, an instrument of like an illusion. Well, you don't read the recipe, but like, man, I wonder if like it just like take that instrument, enough arcane essences to work for the spell, and the scroll of minor illusion. That makes sense. Like you kind of like you start to piece together the recipe formula yourself, and like, oh, like an illusion thing, or if I want to do like a something that does a particular attack or an effect. Like, man, imagine like if you use enough like arcane essences and a scroll of acid spray, or things like that. And depending on how you design it and how you incorporate the scroll, and how you imbue it with the
flute of Tensor's floating disc.
Yes. Yeah, it's like you can imagine, like, oh, like it invokes that, like, or a flute of animal handling, or a flute
well, if you play a doodle deedle do, you can do Melf's minute meteorites.
Yeah. And then it's just a matter of either acquiring or crafting the actual item itself, and
So I'm an essence hunter now.
And you also learn a little bit about, how instruments play and how to play them and how to use them. You start to learn even more about like the essence of like how they're constructed and things like that, because that kind of you start to touch on that when you're looking for the instrument, in that school of thought. So you can like know how to just craft your own instruments, and now you're kind of understanding like you don't know how many essences a particular enchantment is going to need. That would be mostly guesswork, or you'll have to probably just consult with get a little bit of guidance, or look out for some ideas. But you get how it works on a basic level. Like they're like basic beginning, like because you kind of like access the standard, the required textbooks for like some enchanting learning that happens in Portamale. Yeah.
Cool.
At least at the library. Yeah. Yeah, I think I would say that. Yeah, that's a good chunk of information.
Yes, that is. I believe I have did it.
Yeah. I'm not even gonna bother with. I'm also like just skipping complications because I don't really want these like things have like.
I'm okay with this.
Yeah. But yeah, and then like a lot of it is also in your own time. Presumably, you're also playing and jamming, and like getting more in tune with your musical form and things like that, and you eventually start to like hone in your craft as far as like, especially in particular your inspiration, your bardic inspiration. So yeah, so now that you can go ahead and level to level 5.
Why my maximum hit points have gone down?
I don't know.
I had 33 before at level 4, and now I'm level 5 with 31. So I don't know what happened. We can figure this out later. But yes. So it's just a D8.
Yeah.
But I think what ended up happening was it re-rolled itself. Like all of it. There, that's 37. I have 37 hit points. Let me manage it.
So just add.
There we go. Fixed it.
Yeah. All right. And then for now that you're level 5, you have now your bardic. You started working on your bardic inspiration. Now your bardic inspiration is a D8 rather than a D6.
And I get it no matter if we have a shorty rest or a longy rest.
Yeah, you have your font. Yeah, you have your font of inspiration. So now you regain all your inspected uses on a short rest or long rest. Yeah. And you don't get anything from College of Lore yet, but you will in the next level. Which works for your. I'm looking forward to your level 6 because you're going to learn additional magical secrets.
I know. I want to know those secrets. Like what are the secret herbs and spices?
You can learn from of your choice from any class. So it's like you can learn cleric spells, you can learn paladin spells, you can learn warlock spells.
Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna be a warlock without any contract work somehow. Yeah. Somehow I tricked an eldritch power into giving me.
You're gonna learn Eldritch Blast.
I'm a warlock scab. I'm working on a contract.
Yes.
Like I don't know how. I can't explain how I know how to do this, but it's off the books. There's no contract here. The warlock local 1992 is real pissed off at me right now.
Yeah.
Like.
I'm going to, because Lucius's, I feel like I need to write out and plan his thing, because in less than 2 weeks is the next full moon.
Ooh.
So there's a whole interaction and thing you're gonna go through.
You're gonna stare longingly into a werewolf's eyes.
I just know on the 29th, for some reason Lucius disappears in the middle of the night. At least for
an American werewolf.
Well, I will say I think at the beginning of these 2 weeks, Lucius is ready for a break, and so he just tells the others, like, I'm going camping for a while.
Yeah.
Y'all have fun.
Yes.
I'll be back sometime.
Yeah.
And he just kind of leaves.
Yeah.
Not taking really any typical camping supplies with him.
Yeah.
Or any of the money.
Lucius has money.
Yes.
The money.
The money he doesn't.
The money.
That's his. He disappears for like a little while. Where like he just kind of goes off and does his own thing for a little while. And I gotta actually properly write that, and we'll do that next week, and that'll be fun. We might actually have it be a secret conversation. That's maybe like somewhere you guys will have to take off your headphones.
And like Camper Cat.
It might involve old
Meow,
friends.
meow, 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 meow.
So a couple of I would say I'll wrap this up and with a couple of last
Poetic
things.
form.
Yes, with haiku. Do you guys do anything as far as like do you guys check the job board or anything like that, or as far as,
I've been too busy hitting them books.
Do you guys like
Too busy drinking with Holly.
You're extremely quiet, Daisy.
I moved my microphone. Is it better now?
Jesus, that microphone's a problem. So please don't do that. Don't.
Okay.
We're good. There, that's fine. You'll just be very far away, Daisy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll check the job board. Why not?
Yes. Yeah, and you end up kind of like one of those days where like you're gonna have some free time. Just there's no particular training. And it's gonna be funny with without the guy with big passive perception. Oh wait, let me. So, you kind of like.
Does this mean anything to you?
Yes. One of the.
Sorry.
You remember that the boys had been told about like, hey, possibly checking for work on the job board, and you were just on one of the days late, like on your second week, you had a free day that it wasn't there wasn't anything pressing as far as like research or like training. You kind of like you were even like encouraged to kind of like just go out, spend the day, have a day off and things like that. And you were just like, well, yeah, I'm curious about like this, like you're just curious. I imagine just as of what can be done around town. And yeah, that day you go up, and you kind of look, and what you notice like on the job board, and you find one near the Cobalt Soul, but like more close to like more officious buildings, and you had noticed before that there's a few different places they usually have like official like posts. You see a couple of like you just see a couple like random posts for like help me need help with moving, or like need help with like bouncer work, or like odd jobs and like gig work and things like that. And you guys aren't really pressed for cash, so you kind of like gloss over that. And you do give me since you kind of have the day and you're not really pressed to try to find anything. Your passive perception is good enough. You notice a couple of them. You do notice that there's one in particular that says you notice that there's like a bounty. Usually a bounty board. Usually there's some bounties, but none of them interesting. One of them, what you see is a bounty. Wanted roundabout Jen. Will pay. Wanted for. Let me pull up the thingy. Okay. Roundabout Jen. And this is she's wanted for theft, theft, money laundering, fraud, and like one last, and allegedly murder. Like last said in there, allegedly murder. They say, well, the bounty is at 1,000 gold pieces if brought back alive, 300 gold if brought back dead. It's like as an aside.
Okay.
other gold rewards available for intel or information.
But you're saying wanted, dead or alive.
Will involve see the town hall. See the marquees at the town hall for more information. And then you see like other job postings, and you see, but you also catch that nearby one of the postings, another thing has happened. One of the guards is snatching one of the another piece of paper that was like looked that you didn't get a chance to look at before, but he was like pulling down and kind of starting to crumble up a piece of paper with some writing on it, and you see that also says 1,000 gold pieces somewhere on there, like get 1,000 gold pieces, like you can catch a glimpse, but he's like crimpling it up and trying to like throw it away. Do you say anything?
Suspicious.
Do you say anything?
Say again. Sorry.
Do I say anything to this situation?
So like just this guard like taking out this piece of paper that says 1,000 gold.
But do I notice, like, is he like crumpling the paper, like he's trying to hide it, like he's just kind of tearing it down,
just like taking it off, and like just like not like more like taking it, just not like hiding it, just more like and almost like a bit of like frustration, like this thing.
Yeah, if he's a little frustrated, I might kind of look over and be like, "Everything okay, buddy?"
Just these unofficial postings of these boards, like we there's an approval process. We have to go to the magistrate, and all of these end up being scams. Like he just kind of like throws it on the ground, and like crumbles it up and throws it on the ground and walks away.
Okay, so he just walks away.
Yeah, he just kind of like
okay.
Stupid thing, throws it on the ground.
I want to try to ask him if I had a chance, like, well, how do I know they're legit?
Well, I've never seen any of these legit, and this is not the Roundabout Gen 1. So the Roundabout Gen 1 is still there. It's there. It's official, and you see it has an official stamp on it and things like that. Okay. This is just some other thing with like some writing scrawled on it that was put haphazardly in one other corner of the board. And it's like, man, a lot of these they send you, they say,
Dave
go meet.
sucks.
Yeah. So you meet up in some place and you get some money, and then you get jumped. You get robbed, and it's like they're just preying on unsuspecting travelers, and it just chaps my hide.
Well, I appreciate you looking out for others.
Yeah, there's a process. You got to go through you got to get your posting approved. You got to get approved with the magistrate, approved with the city board, and then you get the stamp. You get the stamp, and then we put it up. We'll even make the copies for people. It's just well, I'm sorry, my friend. I'll leave you to the day. It's just I get worked up about this. I'll thank you for your concern. I'll have a wonderful day.
I can tell you're passionate about your job.
Yes, I
hope the rest of your night's better.
Yeah, hopefully I gotta get back to it. He just kind of marches off.
So did he throw the crumpled paper on the ground?
Yeah, he just kind of threw it on the ground.
Okay, I want to go pick it up.
Hell yeah.
What was this that he ripped down?
It seems it's a piece of paper, and it's a very odd specific request. It's an odd request. It's not. It's lacking detail as far as the information. It basically just is meet somebody at a place, at a location in the Um, particularly the beaded alley. I think it just spends a particular spot in a kind of a hidden away area in the beaded alley at a time and date, and you will be paid 1,000 gold.
Huh.
And
Is it like you just show up and get some gold? Is what it's saying?
that's the only information. Let me pull up the.
That does seem pretty suspicious.
Yeah. Give me an insight check into.
Like a good way to lose your liver or a kidney. Sorry.
Yeah.
Insight. Where are you? There you are. 12 plus 2, 14.
14. That's plenty. You kind of like. It seems a little like well written for being, a scam. I mean, obviously, it could also still be a trap, and it could still be an issue, but it seems pretty well written, and it's tidy.
Do I know like how many days away it is from the meeting time and place?
It is tomorrow. Tomorrow evening.
Okay.
And it's
I will take the paper with me.
Yeah.
So I can show it to the lads next time I see them.
That's right.
You guys like, and then you guys usually that night, I presume everybody. So this is a couple weeks. Like I'm gonna say it's like or a couple weeks later. Everybody but Lucius, because he had already like a week, like over a week ago, had said he's just going off doing, going on a sabbatical or doing his own thing,
going camping. So this is before he gets back.
Yeah, this is before he gets back. I would
Okay.
say, like, does this change? I think it changes as you go along. Let me see. I'm sorry, I'm playing with the calendar in the middle of it.
Oh.
Oh yeah. As you move forward, the moon changes and progresses. Oh, awesome. Yeah. So
Werewolf, kitty cat.
I'm gonna say it's the 27th. And you guys like it's in Big Green. It's Dalason.
Dale.
Sen. And Holly is probably off drinking because it's a day that ends in Sen. No, she's not that much. She just like needs every once in a while she needs to unwind. But as much as she loves her, she's passionate about like the training and like the learning and all that. But then she also like, when it's time to unwind, it's time to unwind.
Like cut loose.
So it's the 27th, and yeah, you guys kind of like meet up for dinner as you kind of like often do. I'm gonna. Do you guys go head up to the Loving Spoon pub?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Do you believe in magic?
Figure out why my video feed is freaking out on Skype.
I don't
Why
know.
is it only me?
I don't know. That's peculiar.
That's pretty awesome. But I'm not seeing it
You see it on the
anywhere
stream?
but on the stream.
Oh,
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Super weird.
The monitor feed. Daisy, you're coming to us from like impression. Yeah.
Ooh.
You're glitching out like an awesome. Yeah, that's great.
It's amazing. So yeah, you just have the dinner, and as far as like it's part of your daily living, your cost of living. It's you guys have your dinner, and you guys are just like having your typical dinner, of course, including Mortals, like just having his vegetables and like his drink, have a couple beers. Yeah. But do you bring it up?
There you go. Yeah, I'll bring out that letter. Hey, so I was checking the job board earlier, and there was a guard that ripped this down, and thought it was fake, but when I looked at it,
you shove a Cheeto in your mouth.
Not D&D without Cheetos.
Yeah.
Adds to
Authentic.
the realism.
Summer's eating. Yeah, I gotta stick up with it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't know. There's something about this. Just wanted to show it to someone else, get a second opinion.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of details. Seems a little suspicious.
Yeah. Well, I would say, we're pretty tough. It's probably a trap or it's probably easy money. So I'm like, even if it's a trap, I don't think.
Deus Ex Tortuga.
But I mean, that's
Sounds like a good plan to me, says Toby.
But there's also this legitimate thing about roundabout gin, and we could go to the marquee.
Drake meme. Roundabout gin.
Yeah.
The weird thing you picked up off the ground.
Yes. Let me see. I'm gonna add. I should also. Let me see. Handouts. Okay. Yeah.
Beavis and Butthead Do America is available for free on YouTube.
I am so relieved.
Yeah.
Beavis and Butthead Do America.
There's a ton of ads, though.
Yeah.
But I remember Space Jam and Beavis and Butthead released in theaters roughly around the same time. And they're making another Space Jam. Where's the Beavis and Butthead Redo America?
Let's see. I'm gonna there's a couple of things. There it is. Roundabout gin. It likes shape.
It does not hold up.
It's fun.
King of the Hill holds up. Beavis and Butthead Do America does not.
Oh wait, no, that's not it. That's why it's okay. I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna make it easy. Put it in Discord. So on a side note, okay. So a couple of things, yeah. You on a side note, put it into the tomes, thing for. Just as an aside, just so you have a reference, it also includes like a drawing of Roundabout Gin. Now this is just as a so you have it. And
oh, okay. Oh, dang.
She's also described as having more tattoos, but you'll probably have a conversation about that. But yeah, so you guys decided to like, what do you guys decide? Did you guys decide to ask about one and then go do the other, or do you do one or only one, or?
I mean, we have time to meet up. Yeah, we have time to meet up with the Marquis tomorrow morning. And then meet up at this rendezvous point tomorrow night.
Yeah. All right. So so in the midday, you just to like for brevity's sake, the with the Marquis, she talks to you like, well, with Roundabout Jen, she's, the murder thing is a little bit suspicious. A lot of the nobles, she kind of steals from like a lot of the big nobles here in town and a couple of the other cities. They claim that she's killed a couple of their guards. They have yet to provide me evidence or proof or things like that, but implored us to include that stuff. But she's definitely an experienced thief, and we're trying to at least bring her in. Bring her in to at least answer for those violations. I will say the biggest piece of intel that we found out. The only thing that we have, if you wanted for some, want to help us out with this endeavor, it's doubtful. It's going to be a bit of a journey to get there, but we got some intel that she had been seen around a town a little bit north and northwest of Gordon, named Camor. Camor. Kind of a sleepy little town. We usually get lumber from them, or at least Gordon and the towns in the area usually get lumber from them. But not a lot of people talk to a lot of the residents there. But we did find out that she was heading in that direction. She may have been spotted around that area. So if you would be interested in, probably easiest would be just hit the road, head over to Gordon. Probably if you need supplies. I don't know if you guys are know anybody there or from the area, but you can probably get some supplies there and just well, let me kind of draw you the area. And she kind of pulls out points out on a nearby map of the area of the Wild Mountain, or like the coast. Kind of points you a pathway. There's a smaller road and a little bit weathered, but still pretty clear road that leads to Camor. And I don't know on a lot of maps because it's a smaller town, but it's it'll be there. And you do notice that that the path that she draws from Gordon to there, it's quite a bit past it, but with a slight deviation, you'd also be able to stop by your village.
I wondered.
Yeah. 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 I mean, no pressure on finding this lady, but if you find good actionable information, I could compensate you with a few hundred gold pieces, a couple hundred gold pieces, a few hundred gold pieces, depending on the intel, and it would be a huge help seeing what we can find out there.
All right.
Okay. Oh, thank you. Yeah, once you guys are able to find whatever you can and head on back, I guess it'll probably take you a couple weeks to head out there. It's quite a bit of journey. So I'll see you guys in a few. If you do end up going there.
All right. Yeah, thanks for the information. Just talk to the team and decide if we want to go.
Yeah. So you guys kind of gather, and as you guys discuss, and just to kind of for brevity, because we're kind of getting into the end of the night. For brevity, you guys do go to the meeting point. So what you do is you follow a main road towards a canal, one of the canal, kind of like a little canal areas, like a little small creek or river that it goes on there. Through a couple of the wards and blocks of the town. As you progress, you start to leave the hustle bustle of the main city stuff, and find yourself heading down a long dark alleyway. Eventually, you come to a darkened area beneath a large bridge. Suddenly, a hooded figure emerges from the darkness, pulls her hood back, and it's a
Danklin Nuggins.
No. It is a bit bedraggled, elegant half-elf woman.
I thought you were gonna say Berlin Tidebearer there for a second. Just like dude just keeps showing
Mega
up.
the Brash.
I'm a Matthew the player is, and maybe Lucius is already a little bit suspicious of how often Berlin shows up.
Yeah. It's 2 places.
Oh, hey guys! This is the big bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hello. I see that you were able to find one of my postings.
Indeed.
Well, my name is Mia. And I need you to find out what's wrong with my husband.
Pray tell, what are his symptoms?
Well, symptoms in that is that he used to be a loving, kind man, but he's been easily irked and prone to fits of anger, and it's just snapping.
Pokemon cards.
Yeah. And he's been disappearing at all hours, at odd times, which is completely behavior that's really unlike him, and it's happened very suddenly. And when they ask him about it, he claims it's official business. He's also replaced a lot of his usual advisors and retainers with new, more, how should I say, nefarious types. I tried sending a servant out to follow him once. Haven't heard from her.
What does he do for a living?
He's a noble. He kind of describes his he's one of the noblemen of the town and works with like
old
a lot
money.
Of different, yeah, it's old money. A lot of different
gentry.
Yeah. But he worked with
a middle class noble.
Yeah. He works in various jobs in that noble meeting with other like managing businesses, managing investments and things like that. At least that's what he did. And it's mostly that, and he did all that kind of things. If what I need you to do is stake out my manor and follow my husband to see where he goes at night. I can, if you discover what's happened or what is going on with him, I can reward you, like I said, with the promised amount of 1,000 gold.
Just for the information. You just want to know what he's doing. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, if you can discover what's happened, that's what I would like to know. What's happened?
What's his name?
His name is Midrin. Midrin.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Toby and Cilero are with me? And Mortle?
Yeah. Mortle, okay. Yes.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure, like, I wasn't just there with Mortle. Yeah. Okay. Do you guys want to have a quick huddle?
Go for it.
I think we should go for the blitz on third.
Go for the what was that?
Oh, we'll go with HB we'll go with the pass play action.
First thing I think of whenever I hear the term huddle is football.
Yes.
I am sorry.
I think as long as Mia describes what her husband looks like and where where the manor is, I think we're good from there. Because I know we want to stick around for Lucius to finish camping before we head out. So.
Well, actually, correct. The Mia is a lovely human.
Oh,
and then she describes. I read the sentence wrong. She describes Midrin, or you ask her, as he's a prominent noble, and he is a half elf. He's prominent, and he describes his figure, his figure and his facial features and things like that.
Got it. Okay. Well, yeah. I guess we will accept the offer and try to see what your husband's up to.
Yeah.
In theory, In theory, we should be able to do this. Get in, get out.
Yeah. Should be pretty simple, hopefully.
Yeah.
Depends on what he's up to. I have my theories, but seems like it's never as easy as I think it's going to be.
There's part of me that hopes that the man I've been seeing in my house is no longer my husband. If only in the hopes that the man I married would return, and there's a chance to. But whatever it may be, I'm ready to find out the truth.
And we'll see if we can provide you with that truth.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much. And she kind of describes where her manor is. It's in the Crescent. It's a very sizable home, and she describes where you get her husband, things like that, and you get ready for the job. Yeah, and she kind of walks off in that direction as well. Yeah, and as you guys kind of contemplate this next peculiar task or an interesting task, that's we kind of we're gonna call it for this evening. As the gang prepares to do some sleuthing, and Lucius is off in the woods doing
giant magnifying glass somewhere
doing
here.
wild mother knows what.
Can I do a quick flashback just so at least you know kind of how Lucius is approaching this? He is whatever hotel they're staying in. He goes into his room and he takes off kind of not all his clothes, but the dress and the mariner's coat and everything, and he gets it all in his pack in a bundle and just kind of leaves it there and tells y'all, if you end up moving hotels, I'm going camping for a few days. If you end up moving hotels, just take this with you. We're basically just making it easy as possible for them to transport it.
Yeah.
And then, kind of on my way out of town, I stop by. I find would it be an apothecary shop?
Yeah, something like that. Apothecary.
I want to spend some time crafting some healing potions.
Yes.
And so need to buy some equipment and
I'm crafting healing potions for you.
Yes.
Actually, let's see. I need an herbalism kit.
Yeah.
I'm proficient, but I need to buy an herbalism kit.
Yes.
And then some vials and the specialized ingredients, and then I'm going to go out and find the rest out in nature, along with whatever else it is that I happen to do out there.
Yeah. We will. You kind of walk You have your walking off into the sunset.
Yeah.
As the
Just
ending
like
theme
in a
of the
really
Hulk.
yeah, ratty shorts, barefoot.
Yes.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah. All right, and we will visit that next week.
Leveled up.
So everybody leveled up.
I gotta pick some spells.
Yes, everybody got pick spells. We're gonna have things set up for next week. Yeah. Thank y'all for
Chase
hanging
down
out
some
with
lady's
us.
husband.
Also, so we did.
D&D,
Also, last thing we didn't touch on Lucius leveling up. We can just do the mechanics now because you just level
Okay.
up and you roll your hit points.
Okay. Yeah, I am happy to do that now. Let's see. Help. Oh gosh.
Garatada, the name of the Simlish version of the black-eyed peas from Herbs.
So I will roll my. Guess I'll just roll a hit die.
Yeah, roll you should be able to do it in your character builder, but yeah, you want to do that.
Okay. Yeah, I will go into the character builder.
Hit under class.
Oh, there we go. Level 5. I always get antsy when I have to do this. Shoot, I don't know. I think I have to roll it.
Yeah. So you should,
Manually.
under class, you should be able to just roll on the bottom left. You should have a little dice thing. So you have your full dice.
Class.
Under,
on my character sheet.
On your character builder.
The building.
Yeah, you hit the anvil and page 2.
Hey, look, there's some dice in the lower left corner. Who would have thought?
Roll your d8, and then add that. Reroll 1 obviously, and then add it to your rolled HP total.
Okay, so 4 plus
whatever it
2.
says in your,
yeah.
You don't have to.
It's the roll. Okay, I got it.
You don't only have to add the 4. Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, Excellent. It does all the con adding for you. Luckily.
Woo. All right, there we go.
You have 4, so you're at 30. I think.
5, 35.
37.
37.
Should be 37. Because you add your con modifier again. I should add your con
I'm not
modifier.
old. I'm 37.
No, that's right. Because my con is +2.
Okay.
And so my rolled is 25, and then 2 times 5 is 10.
Okay, so it's 35. That works. Perfect. All right. Because it was already level 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. That is everybody leveled up. We're gonna get some more exciting adventures. But yeah, thank you.
Pseudo dragon level up.
Let me roll his. Let me roll Pseudo Dragon's hit dice.
Important.
As Lucius wanders off into the sunset, it's turning into like, all I need is this. Oh, and this. As he also brings along his herbalism kit.
Yes.
Newly purchased.
If you don't have it in the car, we'll buy it when we get there.
Damn, you're just rolling ones.
Damn.
No, none of that.
Wow.
Okay, 2. I'll have to take the 2. So now
That sounds like some bullshit.
Now, hold where did I change that? Okay, now Pseudo Dragon has 18 hit points. Okay. All right, so that is all for actually I should add the con modifier. 2, 3 more. That is all for us today. Thank you all for hanging out with us.
We do appreciate it.
I'm gonna add the con modifier for Pseudo Dragon. So he's 21 hit points now. Thank you for hanging out with us for another fantastic episode of Through the Tomes, where we do our dang thing. Be sure to hang out with us every week on Tuesdays over on Rebelli TV. You can see, if you're watching the video, you can see the Rebelli TV over my shoulder. On Twitch and on YouTube, we try to have the episodes all up there on YouTube as well if you want the visual. We also have show notes at thetomes.com, including links to a lot of the resources that we use, and a lot of information, and even shout outs of the breweries we mentioned and things like that, or that I mentioned. But yeah, check out those resources. Check us out live. We do everything. We do a bunch of things from Tuesdays to Fridays scheduled. So D&D on Tuesdays, Record Breakers, our music podcast on Wednesdays, Space Truckin' on Thursdays, where we play Starbound. Fridays I do PD Plays Fridays. I'm experimenting with starting times. I might actually start earlier to give myself a ability to maybe do a longer stream before I get tuckered out and go up against my bedtime, because I'm older now and like I start to get sleepy around like 10 or 11, but check that out. I'll have schedule information either as the offline image, or I post it on Twitter early in the week. But check out all those things. Follow us everywhere. Like, share, subscribe on YouTube, do all the things. Until next time, don't forget to love each other. Hasta los huevos.
Toodaloo.
Bye-bye.
#find Luke.
Annyeong. Fighting.